as the Republicans decide that again it is time to try to ram Trump care down the throats of the American people who have soundly rejected it. They are going to try again to destroy Medicaid, to raid Medicare, to throw tens of millions of people off of their health insurance, to increase the premiums and costs to unaffordable levels from where they currently rest at nearly to unaffordable levels to up to extremely unaffordable, especially for older Americans, for Americans with serious health problems. It's just they're returning back to this drive to just steal our money and our health, just reach into our pockets and steal our money, to steal our health care and to push millions of people into an early grave. Because I guess that's just how Republicans like to get down. They're going to call it, they have all these fancy names for it, and they have all these lies and propaganda about how this time it's different. Don't fall for it. It is Trump care. It is immoral. It is a disaster, and it needs to be resisted. And just like we beat it last time, we're going to beat it again this time. But you're going to have to get to the phones. You're going to have to call the switchboard, 202-224-3121. Call your senators. Tell them that you are watching. The strategy here that they're bringing into play is so obvious. They're just expecting people to not pay attention, and that's how they're going to get away with it. And we're not going to fall for it. And to talk a little bit more about that and how we're going to resist it, how we beat it last time, is my good friend and colleague, Jon Bowzer Bauman, who is joining us right now to talk about how these Republicans just can't quit trying to steal our health care. Jon, thanks for joining us on the Thom Hartmann Program.
Here we go again, Alex.
So I think you heard my setup. It's just the exasperation is pretty clear in my voice. I can't believe, I mean, you know specifically that I literally can't believe it. You wrote me the email and we're like, is this real? And I was like, no, there's no way that they're good. They're doing it again. So just kind of walk us through what's going on and how we're going to resist this, oppose this, defeat this, and move on to the real fight, which is expanding Medicare to everybody and guaranteeing health care for everybody. But before that, we have to do again. We have to fight them from taking away what we already have.
Right. Now, the good news is, there's only one piece of good news with regard to this, and that is that this is over at 11:59 p.m. on September 30th. So this is a very time-limited fight, and they are under great duress to get this done by that time. This has got to be done under reconciliation in the Senate, or it's going to need 60 votes, which they will never get. So they're trying to scrape by 50 so that Mike Pence can gloriously be the 51st to take away everybody's health care. And, clearly the attitude here is we need a win, they say. They need a win, and the win constitutes of taking away millions and millions of Americans' health care. So what we've got to do is, how that is a win, obviously, we can't even begin to fathom. We live in some kind of alternate universe here. But what we've got to do is get on the phones starting now. I mean, as much as I would normally say, call Alex Lawson on the Thom Hartmann Program, probably what you need to do first is call your senator, especially if you're in one of the states that is, where we have a shot. We got to make sure we keep Susan Collins in line. We got to make sure we keep Lisa Murkowski in line. Where that third vote is going to come from is a little bit trickier in this, because although it's Trump care, it's the same damn thing. It's no better than it was before. If anything, it's really worse when you look into the details of it. But Lindsey Graham is the main sponsor of it. So will John McCain stay in line? Will John McCain really hold to his promise that the Senate needs to go back to regular order? And they're certainly not going to be able to do that in this. There are all kinds of ridiculous details about this that are almost laughable. Like, they need to hold a hearing to so that John McCain will vote for the bill. But the hearing is supposed to be in the committee that deals with health care issues. Lamar Alexander is working with Patty Murray on these issues on how to improve Obamacare right now. He's saying he won't hold the hearing. But Ron Johnson, one of the co-sponsors, says, well, I'll hold a hearing in the Homeland Security Committee. That's how ridiculous this is.
Which is just totally fake.
A sham hearing
Yeah.
might be held in a committee that has nothing to do with this. So you got to pound on John McCain, everybody in Arizona. If you are listening to this in Arizona, call every office that John McCain has now and make sure that he holds to his promise that the Senate needs to go back to regular order or this cannot be passed. He can't cave to his pal, Lindsey Graham. We got to make sure
John,
that he holds the line.
John, I think, what do you think about Shelley Capito as the third potential? I think that Shelley Capito could be the third no vote. You know, she wasn't there last time, which I don't fully understand what was brought to bear. But she did have that famous line, I didn't come to Congress to hurt people. And that is exactly what Trump Care does. So, you know,
And Alex, right. As you know, they're a Medicaid expansion state. This is another factor. This horrible proposal, Graham Cassidy and Heller's in there somewhere.
Trump Care.
Trump Care still attacks Medicaid, the same way, in fact, almost worse than the previous ones. So Medicaid expansion states specifically, which include Arizona and includes West Virginia and includes Nevada, are still going to be decimated by this.